bristles on the tree.
Yeah.
Call to order the Preble Town Board meeting of December 12th, 2022. With a salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any corrections or approvals of the minutes from the last meeting in November? We have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Carried. Committee reports, Jen?
Dog control traveled 120 miles and one stray was picked up in November. Justice report, November fines, $12,385 collected.
Highway report, Jeff?
Yes, the Highway Committee, which is Jim Harris, Dave Pittman, and myself, are going through the engineering firms that responded to our LDSA request. By doing that, that'll allow us to, if we can get the Bridge New York grant, that'll allow us to get the engineering reimbursed as well as the actual hardware by going through this state accepted process, if you will. The emergency work from the floods from a year ago, August, has been obligated, so we should be seeing a check from FEMA soon. The paving at the charging station on Curry Spur, it's created a water problem since the beginning. I think we all remember and agree. My biggest concern to this whole thing was the drainage. And since I was up there and talked to them a few weeks ago, they've actually come in and painted the stripes on the very blacktop that they're going to have to tear up to get the drainage repaired. So at what point do I go up there and tear that out is, I guess, my question.
They agreed to do that. Yeah.
They agreed way back, right, Don, to take care of the drainage. And they just, I don't know. I'm very frustrated because there's probably a 3.5 to 4 inch puddle up there right now. It's probably bigger than the size of your table there. That's just backing up, and that water's just trying to pump anywhere it can, and then it's going to freeze, and or it has started freezing.
So it's behind the. It's on the road, or where's the puddle?
It's that
The joint.
where the trucks come out of the truck stop by the fueling area. It's right there where it joins the road. There's a concrete gutter right there, Mike.
Yeah.
And they put those, it's 4.5 inches. When I shot the grade from the lowest spot of the concrete to the highest part of their, where their non-ADA compliant sidewalk is, it's about 4.5 inches higher than the base of that gutter, I call it. It's an obstruction in the road. Everything in the law says I can go up there and tear that out of there. And I've been trying to be a nice guy since April. And there's some blood in me that is very upset about it. It's just, I've been stepped on. They bring in these highfalutin, I hope they're watching. Like these highfalutin lawyers, nothing personal, Don, but we try to work with them and they just stepped on us. And that's exactly how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Well, you heard my recommendation the day we talked about issuing a stop work order. Now, the pavement had been done at that point, but I don't know if they're up and operational or what.
Last I saw, not, but that was 2 days before Thanksgiving. I was up there.
So I suppose we could take it to our code guys. A couple things. One, I can send an email on to this Elizabeth Bennett and say, look, we need to cut this. It's in the road right of way. We feel we can, but this is a courtesy. I assume you guys are going to fix it next spring anyway, so we want to cut this thing. What say you? Number one. Number two, they're still reliant, aren't they, on our code guy issuing a certificate of compliance or whatever it's called before they can use the thing.
Correct. That's the way I understand it.
Because they resubmitted their permit. They went through all that process that we.
Yeah, but then they did this work before the permit got reviewed and approved. Right?
We-
They got the guy, because they were in a hurry because of the plant shutting down, you know. So we had a phone call. It was probably, I don't know, a week after our last meeting. And we told them we were gonna issue a stop work order, and then we didn't. And I know you talked to a couple guys up there, but,
Well, we still can issue that, can't we?
excuse me?
We still can issue
Well,
that.
yeah, but Jeff's point is the damage is done in terms of the drainage through this season. And, you know, they assured us, right, and the condition of our approval was they would deal with the drainage along with the other items. And clearly, the drainage has not been addressed as they assured us it would. They would.
So you could send them out an email, Don?
Sure I can.
And you can word it any way you want, but tell them you calm me down from going up there and saw cutting that.
Jeff,
I
I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
no, but I'm saying
Okay.
it. This is
I'm not telling you what to do.
there was
Not-
snow on the
not
ground
to.
last year when this all started, and here we are.
I told he's gonna have theirs up and going before we even get this resolved. so.
They'll never put power to this one after all
I was
this.
gonna say, they're probably not gonna put it where it's right next to the road up in Tully, right? Put it in
And
the
I'm not-
parking lot or whatever.
I'm not sure is that Electrify America or somebody else. I figure they're all divvying them up under some government grant. So, but anyways, that's that part of it. And then, are you okay with that, Don?
Yeah.
Just to carry on, we talked a couple months ago about the salt shed cover and there's a tan one on it now, and the warranty on a tan one is 15 years and the white one is 25 years. And prices are going up. They didn't give me a number, but we all know everything's going up. January 1st. Do you wish to? And I'm not a decorator at home, and I'm not going to be one here. Do you want white? Do you want tan? Do you want to hold? Whatever. But that's just
Why the difference?
white is all synthetic. The tan, they tell me, has organics in it to make the color. And the organics are what break down in the sun. When that cover that's on there was new 11 or 12 years ago, it had a sheen to it for the first 6-7 years, and then it started fading as it, broke down in the sun, the UV. And the snow is actually starting to stick to it now. It's stuck most of the day today to it. And whereas before, you get a little snow on it and it'd zip right off of there. So, but anyways, it's an aesthetic deal. The price is about the same as far as between the two.
Yeah, is there money in the budget?
We've got a capital reserve for 3/4 of that. So, well, not quite 3/4, probably 2/3 anyways. 28,000, I think, capital reserve, about a 10,000 short. So
$2,000 budget, 10 years. I don't know what's the difference. Why was it tan instead of white?
well, at the time there was no. That's why you had,
Okay.
you could get white, but there was no warranty difference. Nobody
Okay.
was talking about, this. Now it's evolved. Different manufacturers involved now. The actual company that built this one, Clearspan, they've been out of business for 6-7 years. This hybrid company has taken over, sizing their tarps to also fit the Clearspan bows. If you go by the state DOT down in Polkville, they actually took they've had like 5 or 6 different salt sheds down there. And they built a pole barn on the outside of the concrete, on concrete pylons, basically.
Yeah, I saw that.
Looks-
Weird.
It's got good ventilation, I gotta think. There's a gap in there, so. And they had not 10 or 12 years ago, the domes. They tore all them down, then they put these other ones up, then they tore all the tops off of them, and now they're building a pole barn, kind of a cap over it. So we can chew on it. And,
We
I
got
got-
ordered, should order it before the first, right?
right, we got the next meeting, 28th,
Oh, okay.
if you want to chat.
You guys care what color it is?
No, I don't know. There was an issue with the white, right? With somebody for shining.
I don't know how. I haven't seen the new white ones. They say are not as shiny as the
Oh.
older white ones. So I'm told. I have not physically seen it to say what type of white it is as far as sheen. The only thing I got was when we put the new highway garage up with the LED lights on the side of it, is the observatory up on, you know what I mean. But when Dan O'Shea was coming here, he said that they can tell when those lights are on because it reflects and, you know. I said, okay,
That was on a tan one anyway, so.
Yeah, if we're looking at the white one with a 25-year warranty, not much money difference.
so whatever you want to do.
Yeah. 25-year warranty
Yeah,
is much better.
Another 10 years, I mean, we all know what
Yeah.
a warranty's worth too, you know, I mean, after 15 years, the person shot, you might be able to get a little bit out of the 25-year
Right.
shot. you know.
Yeah.
How long did this one last?
This is 12.
12
It'll be
years.
13 in the spring. And this is the catch, and I've seen what happens is when they do start ripping, then they got the tear resistance in them, but when they get broken down, when they start to tear, they just go. And the problem is that it gets caught in the wind and then it starts screwing up your bows. When it's Town of Scott had to put like 6 or 7 new bows on theirs when theirs cut loose. So it's not a matter of, oh, my sand's getting wet. It's a matter of hurting the structure and how much more is it going to cost to fix it down the road. The other thing that hit me the other day is that we get a cover, and if we really think this got another year or 2 left in it, then, you know, we've got the cover at today's price and maybe put it on next year or the year after too is the other possibility. That you'd have to check with them to see what they've had any experience doing that.
So
No.
Jeff, what's the total price, around 35, 38?
Just under 40.
Okay, so is this a state bid item?
Yeah.
Well, you need to, if you authorize something as far as spending from your capital reserve, you authorize it to subject to permissive referendum, which is just a matter of publishing it in the newspaper. Okay, but once it's published, it puts your populace on notice that we're planning on taking 28,000 out of capital reserve, and people have 30 days to file a petition. And if there are enough signatures, they could require you to put it to a vote. Very unlikely that would occur here, but we've seen it happen one time before. And then the other balance of the money, I don't know if it's budgeted for next year, so it's just a line item or something, or you gotta borrow it all, then you gotta have some kind of resolution of authorizing some bonding.
Usually, January meeting, we've got some rollover that we can, I
That's
hope,
what I'm thinking
direct
too.
in that direction
Yeah.
to make it happen. And that's the crazy part, just like everything else, that number went from 2 years ago from 27 to like 30, 1,000. I say, okay, we can make, a couple thousand up. Then this year it's up to 39.
Sure.
But it didn't surprise me. It just frustrated me. Hold until the year-end meeting to do that, Don. I don't think you're not gaining anything right now, particularly. But
Right, it just, you'd be gaining time is all, to start the 30 days on the publishing in the newspaper. But, you're not gonna be taking delivery till whenever, right?
It'd be, and at best, it wouldn't get put up until April, once it warms up,
How long is that price good for?
end of the year.
Oh, just the end of this year?
There'll be an increase. Let me call Hybrid, and then I'll get you some more information for the next meeting for sure. But then we can at least. I apologize. It's fallen off my radar, and I just was looking at it yesterday when I was plowing, noticing the snow sticking to it. I said, "Yeah, you idiot! We got to get moving." So, okay. Also, not that it has anything to do with us, but just for information, we got a letter from the county attorney. They've been having people at the landfill harassing the employees up there, the carriers. And basically, it's putting everybody on notice. It has an account up there. There's 0 tolerance for any employee harassment. I guess I don't know what the world's coming to, but it's just, I get it. They had to send it to everybody, but it's sad, I guess. Also today I met with Pat Reedy from Soil and Water. I got one map that he drew out if anybody want to take a look at it, but he's coming up with some ideas as far as basically based on a 10-year storm, which is about the storms we're having problems with, that and above, and the flow rates. And he feels pretty confident we could nip a lot of that in the butt by doing something at this site. So that progress is ongoing as far as some ideas, but anybody want to look at that?
Now, did that land go back up for sale again with the county?
No, they're holding it until we say whatever. So, yeah. That's all I got, unless you have any questions for me.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. You got a question?
No,
Uh,
I guess, yeah, so we don't have to act on this cover now but if we wait until the 28th, we're gonna see it. It's not gonna be this price anymore, right?
Oh, we got to the end of the year, so if you act on the 28th, then I can.
Okay.
So the 30
Well,
days.
we don't have to wait the 30 days.
Well,
We can lock it
I
in.
mean, you're not free to spend the money
Right,
till 30 days expires.
okay.
Oh, you
And
can order
you're
it.
so you could give them
basically,
Sorry.
purchase order pending approval, and
I like-
maybe they would lock in the sale.
I like how you talk, Jim.
yeah, so you'd be assuming a little bit of a risk there.
Right.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound like it's really a discretionary expense.
Right.
all right,
In
yeah.
a sense,
Sounds
right?
like that necessary. Okay, nobody's here from recreation. Nobody's here from the county legislature. Jen, we have the November report on the code enforcement.
Zoning and code enforcement November report. 3 building permits issued, 78 miles traveled, 18 building inspections, 48 hours worked, 1 fire inspection, 3 complaint follow-ups, 22 telephone inquiries. The next planning board meeting is January 25th at 7 p.m. The next ZBA meeting is January 5th at 7:30 p.m.
Because the planning board meeting for December was canceled.
Yes. Yep.
Historian, no report. Jen,
Town clerk fees collected in November were $346. dispersed $331 to the town of Preble and $15 to New York State Ag and Markets.
Okay, and unfinished business, the LED street lighting. There's been I sent an email to our representative, and I haven't got a reply yet, asking him for their opinions or answers on some concerns that Jim Dorian and Jeff Griswold had on the street lighting of one of the main things is who owns the lighting and who is going to do the maintenance on them. As Jeff explained, there's some local, Gorlandville and Homer's been having some issues when they installed theirs. So I asked him that in the email, and along with some other questions. And when I get a response, I'll CC you. I'll send it to you, Jim Dorn.
Was that through National Grid though, Jim?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
The contract with us, with them, is through National Grid. I don't know if they could have a contractor that installs them for them.
Mhm.
I would assume that they might. Maybe they go out for bids or whatever. But
Just quick little, and this I just found out literally between less than a month ago. Cortlandville had their lights put in through contractor, and okay, out of the say 1,000 lights you have put in, you have 6 or 8 that are bad right out of the box, and they blink or they don't come on or they stay on all day, and they called National Grid to have them repair them. They said, we don't own those lights anymore. You need to repair them yourself. And they're to the point now, they're scrambling. They've got all these lights installed. And I actually went under one down by their fire station a couple weeks ago, and it's just like this. And I'm telling Chris, on, off. I get the phone calls, but they're actually looking into buying a bucket truck and having 2 guys trained to work around the high lines, because they've gotten this investment, and now they're checking with electrical contractors with trucks to be able to change them. And so I just wanted to be safe, to know that we're not going to be involved with the actual maintenance.
yes, right. Now's the time to find that
If we
out.
can.
Yeah.
So that's where that all stemmed from, just to let you know.
And I guess that would be one advantage in having them replace the ones we have now. As they go bad, they would have to put it in, and it would have to work one at a time, or however, but it would extend the payback period, of course.
Right.
But the sooner we get them in, the sooner we start saving money. But this is a major thing if we have to be responsible for the maintenance on them or replacing them.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, that was just something and it literally just came up. Larry was asking me about getting certified in bucket, because I do some of the other stuff for him, and I said I don't want to get involved. So, anyways, but
so I got an email into Bradley Smith. So, I've actually had a call into him a couple weeks ago or last month, and he never returned my call. So, just to see how it goes.
So right now, the fixtures and the bulbs are the utilities property, and the utilities obligation to repair or replace.
right now, yes, you call National Grid right now. I call them, and they actually, National Grid considers it an emergency if that street light's out. Right in front of your pole barn. Called that one in the other day, and I guess it's fixed already.
Really?
But yep, so you call their 1-800-NIAGARA and give them the pole number and the closest house number. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll get it taken care of, and they do.
Now, are they replacing it with the new ones, or are they just,
No, that's that's where I'm curious what's, if it could have been rolled out that way or not, but if, and I don't know what it'd be if you called up Greenman Electric or something and had them change a bulb every time. I gotta think it'd be, a couple, $200-300 just to set up a truck in the road and run up there and
They
fix
got
it.
a ladder truck or a long step ladder or
A bucket
Extension.
truck on
They
like
do
a
have-
1-ton he's got, I think.
he's got?
I know who else got one, but I don't know if it's running.
Yeah, we got one, you can have it,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
I don't know if it passed OSHA standards.
I doubt it.
He rent it to you for so much.
Did you ever roll the window up?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that thing.
But yeah, what do you use now?
Telehandler, we run a lift from drum. So, usually a lift from drum, that bucket truck is fine for outside stuff, but when trying to working in the barns, it's
Not hit stuff.
not very handy.
And that's the thing, we did, for everything like our trimming and stuff, we've got the man lift for the forks on the loader bucket. That works slick for that, but now you're outside of that range, so now you need a telehandler or something that can reach another, just, I don't want to go there. I really don't. Not for small municipalities we are.
So as soon as I get a reply, I'll send that out.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Board of Assessment Review is still in need of a member. If anybody knows of anyone that would be interested. Point broadband, Jen, do you have some information in
I haven't heard anything back yet. The representative that had come to meet with me last month is still working with his supervisor to figure out when we can get the garage hooked up.
that?
And when I spoke with Jim during last Wednesday, he suggested that if we switch over, we should wait until the garage can be switched and everything can be switched at one time.
Oh, one time.
So I'm just waiting to hear back.
Okay. The recharging stations, I guess you've already reported on that, Jeff, right? The Morgan property, and you've updated us from soil and water on that. Is there anything else on soil and water?
Oh, no, I think we're all set there for now.
Yeah, okay. New business, revised mileage allowance according to the IRS standard rate for 2023. Do we have to have a motion? to
You
approve
can pass resolution to that,
The
effect, sure.
resolution. Do I have a motion for a resolution to revise the mileage accordance to the IRS standards for
Make a motion to revise the mileage allowance according to the IRS standard rates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. The new town law per NYMIR policy. Dan, do you have something there for us?
Yes, it's a proposed local law, or what, we had gotten this recommendation from NYMER,
Thank you.
a while ago. Somehow it got handed to me. And I don't know how it came back up, but what prompted this is the situation with the charging station. So this law, under a section of the town law, there's some protection as far as the town being sued if there's an unsafe highway or sidewalk. We don't have sidewalks, but situation, okay? So if someone got hurt due to a condition that's considered unsafe, the town could be sued. But we can supersede that provision, which does provide some protection to the town. But this local law says in order for us to be liable, a written notification would have to be provided to the highway superintendent and or to the town clerk. And we would then have a reasonable time to address. And unless and until that occurred, that we got the written notification and we didn't respond within a reasonable period of time, unless that occurred, we couldn't be sued. In other words, they have to have provided written notification of the unsafe condition to the highway superintendent and the town clerk. We have a reasonable period of time to fix it. And if we failed at that, then we could be sued. Short of that, this says we couldn't be sued. So it really, it provides a little bit further protection for the town. And again, what caused me to,
Is this an updated prior notification law, Don?
well, I don't know, I don't know if we've ever done this before. And so rather than
Yeah.
struggle with it, it's like, let's enact it and make sure we got it.
I think we do, but I don't know if the wording's the same. That's the only thing I'm saying.
So it's kind of like there's no downside to doing this. And so all you need to do for now is pass a resolution to have a public hearing on this, which would be at the January board meeting of the 9th
Yeah,
at 7:00. We publish a legal notice in the paper. I don't think we need to refer this to county planning, but it's one of those things where, again, part of our motion would be, let's refer it to county planning to make sure they see it, in case they want to give us any recommendation. So that we just need motions on that, and then it would be on our agenda for next, we'd have a public hearing, and it would be on the agenda as we could adopt it.
so could we get a motion to have we'd have a public hearing on next month in the January town board meeting and January 12th to review the new town law number 1 for 2023.
January 9th.
Oh, January 9th, I looked at the wrong month.
So
January
moved.
9th, yeah.
So moved.
Mhm.
I'll make that motion, so moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we need a motion to send that to county planning
Correct.
for their review
Yep.
of local town law number 1.
Make a motion to send it to county planning, local law numbered warrants of 2023 for the town of Preble.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried? Okay. We have a tentative year-end meeting of December 28th for sort of close the books of the town at 2 p.m. So we wanted to get that date out there to see if it is good with everybody before it's scheduled. And we have to have a public notice of that issued in the paper for December 28th, Wednesday.
I think I can make it, but I think we got a senior thing going on.
The public notice for
The
that
senior
meeting, yeah,
thing.
Gina.
Yeah,
asked
the
me to
fire
do that.
station.
The fire station. It's probably a pretty tough time for you.
Depends, this time of year is a little easier.
I've done several of
You
them.
do it online with it.
Mhm.
It's about 4 days before it gets sent.
Yeah.
Reminder.
You get emails quick enough or?
Yeah, emails are, I usually look at every night before I leave there.
Oh, okay.
So, or you can send me a text.
So, email or a text the day before? Jen,
Let
could
myself
you
a
do
note.
that, the 27th?
Okay.
And as far as the 28th go,
You know, just
we're all kind of,
wait
we
and
don't
see.
know,
Yeah.
but we'll schedule that. Is that okay with you, Jen?
I'll make it work.
Yeah. Okay, so that's set up tentatively for that, and now will you let Gina know, Jen? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Okay, Jen, do you have a report on the monies received? Or I report that, USPS received $779. NETS monies, $1,771.89. And the Portland County Treasurer's Office, April, September, 22 mortgage tax of $17,146.38. All those monies were received. Is there any public comments
Can't help you there.
out there in the public forum? Comments, so we have to make a motion to approve the general and highway bills.
Make a motion, pay general fund vouchers abstracts number 12, numbers 216 to 242, totaling $23,006.89.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I have a motion to pay the highway fund vouchers abstracts number 20, number 141 to 152, totaling $18,645.72.
Make a motion, to pay highway fund vouchers abstracts numbers 12, numbers 141 to 152, totaling $18,645.72.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, that's it. Do I have a motion to end the meeting? Town meeting,
Make a motion to adjourn.
adjourn the meeting. Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Meeting adjourned.
Not all your cooking cookies.
That's what I thought, I was gonna get you.
I go shut the camera off first, that's good.
Was your office doing the public notice about the public hearing for the community?
You like your cookie?